Welcome guys, welcome back to my channel once again. Today we're back with Sabaton, Night Witches. This is my second take on the video. Don't worry guys, I've only watched the beginning and then there was file that corrupted, I don't know what happened. But I only watched basically the explanation of the history. I didn't listen to the music, I swear, alright? I just understood basically the context and you understand. It's very interesting guys. So if you like my reaction, leave a like.
The Germans are resting behind the lines of the Eastern Front, their tents in neat rows. All is in order in the quiet and still of the night. It's cold, and the winter snow crunches under the jackboot of a guard. Looking up into the sky, the snow starts to drift down. It's peaceful here. Was that a noise from the sky? No, it's just the wind. Suddenly, piercing the still of the night, there's an otherworldly scream and a whoosh as a dark form speeds by. And was that a woman's laughter in the distance? There are no engine sounds, and the suddenly fearful German soldier loses his footing and whispers under his breath, "Die Nachthexen." The world is all at once a bloom of fire and ash, and two more dark forms pass without a sound. Hearing the whooping and celebration of these supernatural creatures, the guard shakes himself from his fear and calls out, "Die Nachthexen! Die Nachthexen! The Night Witches!" In the sky above, three planes of the soon-to-be famous 588th Night Bomber Regiment, their engines now running, turn east for home. Time to rearm and refuel for another mission. Coming into land, they're greeted by their Commissar, Yevdokia Rashkevich. The young girls that form the pilots and navigators are between the ages of 17 and 26. They are desperate to take the fight to the Germans and have traveled from all over Russia to join the all-women regiments. The 588th is where the least skilled of all the women are placed, but that didn't stop them from carving their name in history. In the early days, they were largely ridiculed by the Soviet men. Given men's uniforms that were too big and shoes all of the same size, the women did the best they could with the clothes, making them fit with belts or filling the large men's shoes with stuffing. The equipment they were given was woefully out of date. The Polikarpov PO2 was a two-man trainer, underpowered and made of cloth and wood. These old string bags were nicknamed crop dusters, or even worse, sewing machines due to the noise their tiny engines made. But the women of the 588 ignored the taunts, and despite the odds, turned the plane's shortcomings to their advantage. The planes at maximum speeds were far below the stall speeds of any of the German fighters. Giving them a tight turning circle, they were almost impossible to hit. They were susceptible to small arms fire and anti-aircraft guns, so their strategy was to attack in threes, with a navigator in each plane. At her signal, the pilot would cut the engines and swoop in slowly, silently, dropping their bombs, dealing death from above. Unexpected, undetected, stealth perfected.
Yep.
If necessary, the other two would draw fire from the fighters or from the ground. They slept during the day and rose at dusk to take their vengeance on the invaders. This unnatural bravery and their stealth tactics earned them their title, the Night Witches. The German ace, Johannes Steinhoff, said, "We simply couldn't grasp that the Soviet airmen that caused us the greatest trouble were in fact women. These women feared
Go woman power, man.
nothing."
Alright guys, so my video, the first recording that I did stopped here. So I didn't listen to the song at all. Now my thoughts on this is very interesting. It's a very interesting subject. I don't know anything about it. And yeah, let's go on.
You can move, just a fight that attacks me bruise. In the dark, silent through the night, the witches on the fight. Never miss the mark. Canvas, wings of death, prepare to meet your fate. Night Bomber Regiment, 580.
is really good. This is really good. I love all their songs, and they're so well written. The written word, it's everything fits, and they add a little bit of words from Russian words and English mostly. But they're able to basically put all of the history and create a song. It's incredibly well done.
Night Bomber Regiment 388. Undetected, unexpected, wings of glory, tell the story. Deviation, deviation, undetected, still perfected.
Oh, this is so good.
Beneath the starlight.
Oh my god, that's one of the worst ways to die, man. Being cooked alive in your plane. You can't do anything. You can't jump. Well, I mean, if it burns too much, eh, it'd be better to jump, right? Uh, but yeah, I mean, there's certain. First of all, the music video, top notch. The animated video, it's beautiful.
Of the heavens, unlikely heroes in the sky, as they appear on the horizon. The wind will whisper when the night witches come.
Yeah.
Undetected, unexpected,
Oh, that's bad.
glory, tell the story.
I wonder because we've seen a lot of planes go down, and it's gonna be up, of course. They're not all gonna survive, especially because they have slower planes. And while they're using their disadvantage and they're turning it into an advantage by, because their horsepower, their motors are very, very old and antiquated. But they also, stop all their motors and they just glide into it, and so they're very stealthy and nobody knows they're coming. They're also very, very slow, and the planes are very wobbly. They're very old planes by the time the story is told, as far as I'm aware. And so I'm gonna guess purely on just the animated music video that there were a lot of casualties. And while they were a great story and they were very inspirational, I'm gonna guess that a lot of them died as well.
Deviation, deviation, undetected, still perfected. From the depths of hell is silence, just the smells, explosive violence. Russian nighttime flight perfected, flawless vision, undetected.
Is that the moon? Oh my god.
32 women, both pilots and navigators, never
Alright.
came home.
Yeah, there we go.
The 588th became highly decorated and respected, flying
Yeah.
more than 23,000 sorties, dropping over
Okay, so 32 women died for 23,000 soldiers. It's nothing. 32 women for 23,000 soldiers. That's that's great. Now, in retrospective, you have to understand you have to know how many they were. If they started with 50, it's horrific. 30 of the 50 women died. It's not good. If they started with 3,000, it's perfect. It's great number. It's all about perspective. Um, but yeah, man, 23,000 sorties, 23,000, 25,000. I don't remember the numbers. Let's go back.
highly decorated and respected, flying more than
23,000 sorties. It's incredible. It's great. I mean, it speaks about, when you're given something, they were ridiculed in the beginning of the story where, they were given weaker planes or unaffected planes, and subpar planes, I should say. And then by the end of it, they were able to, with what they were given, they were able to achieve so much.
23,000 sorties, dropping over 3,000 tons of bombs. 23 night witches were awarded
Dude, at least, they were not overlooked. If they did something, 23 night witches were with the hero of the Soviet Union, good for them. At least they were not like, even though they did something great, but because they were women, back then, no, they were given, their recognition. Good for them. I don't know, in retrospective, if 3,000 tons of bomb is that much, because when you look at in the First World War, we did a few reactions on those videos, and you would think you would listen to like millions of tons of bombs just dropping in on the first day of battle. So 3,000 tons, is it that much? I don't know.
The hero of the Soviet Union, although they were disbanded just 6 months after the war and
Yeah.
not allowed to fly in the victory parade,
Oh,
given
that's
their
shitty.
planes were so slow.
Okay, well, I understand why they were disbanded after the war because it doesn't make sense. Uh, and before you guys come in the comments, like, what do you mean doesn't? It doesn't make sense. Like they were used in the war because they were desperate. They were desperate situations. You didn't have any other plans. You needed to use them. But after the war, once things calm down and you want to advance technologically speaking, as the Soviet Union did, I assume, it doesn't make sense. Now it was shitty that you didn't let them fly in the victory parade, or maybe you could have put them in other planes. I don't know.
From 1956, after she retired from active service, their commissar Yevdokia Rashkevich took it upon herself to find the site of every single one of her girls that was downed, to mark the place and to pay her respects to each one of the incredibly brave night witches.
Nice, nice. That's very nice. At least you know that she cared about her subordinates, which how many people do. A good leader, in my opinion, does. But then the question becomes, do you care too much? You have to find the balance of where you care about them, but you won't be devastated if you lose half your battalion. You have to be pragmatic in that sense. It's very difficult to have that sort of balance, pragmatism, but also you don't want to be the asshole that sends millions to die just because you don't care about their lives. You want to care about them, but you want to be in that headspace where their lives are expendable, but also it's weird. Anyways, guys, I hope you like my reaction. Tell me what you think about the. It's a very. This was recommended by a subscriber of mine. Thank you for the recommendation. There's one other video that I'm gonna do a reaction to. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe. See you guys next time.